Hey, let's talk about, can I open a bookkeeping business and where to start your bookkeeping business? So I get asked these two questions a pretty good amount of time inside of my Facebook group for accountants and bookkeepers. So I wanted to kind of answer this question and just really make sure you feel confident about, like, can you start? So it really comes down to skill sets and beliefs are going to be the main thing. Because when I was first getting started with my bookkeeping and CFO firm, like, the number one thing that I lacked was, number one, the belief that I could actually go and get clients, and number two, I lacked the skill set to be able to charge the right prices on consultation calls when I was doing my conversation. So let's kind of talk about those. So number one, okay, first and foremost, just you need to start learning how to do accounting and bookkeeping. If you already know how to do that, then you don't have to worry about the step. But if you don't know how to do accounting and bookkeeping, like even at a very basic level, transactional bookkeeping, we can help you inside the mentorship program. Like, that's one thing that we do train on. That really started because, like, as I started making YouTube videos and as I started, being more prolific on social media, I would get people who were coming from, like, different industries, like registered nurses. We would get, like, more people from the mortgage industry. We would get people from like more of a real estate background, and they'd see the opportunity that they have with, like, accounting and bookkeeping, see how it's, like, really relaxing work. You can grow to six figures without, like, necessarily working 1,000,000 hours per week, and they just kind of found it really attractive. So we had to start really teaching the accounting and bookkeeping side inside of our program. So, for example, one of our students' name was Rebecca, and she had taken, like, a little, like, mini, like, QuickBooks course before she joined our program, and she had, I think, like, had one client before she joined, and then it took her about 3 weeks to start trying to bring on more clients. And I kept, like, asking her, hey, we have these kind of KPIs and metrics you're supposed to be hitting inside of your marketing so we can start growing, and it'll be like after the first time, the second time, third time, like, hey, what's really going on? Then she kind of expressed that she didn't really understand how to do the bookkeeping, and it was really causing her not to want to put herself out there because she didn't feel like she could do the work. So we just sat down with her. We made sure she understood how to do bookkeeping. Like just gave her a really structured, well-rounded curriculum, so that she was able to go and be like, okay, cool, I can now do this. And she started feeling like she can do it confidently, right? Then when she just mixed in with, like, the stuff we do with the marketing and the sales side, not only was she able to get people on the phone, but now she had the confidence to say that she could actually do the work that she was telling them that she could do. And that made her go a long ways, because then when she started seeing her price like $1,000 a month or $2,000 per month, she was feeling very confident, and the business owners can believe that and can understand that. So then she got to about, like $4,200 a month. It took her about between 3 to 4 months to go and get to about she started with, like, 1 or 2 clients, and she got to, like, $4,200 a month in about 3-ish, 4-ish months, right? But it all started with that confidence, knowing that she could actually do the work. Now, there's a lot of different, like, programs out there that teach about, like, how to do QuickBooks and bookkeeping and accounting, right? And a lot of them are pretty complicated. Personally, for me, I had to, like, break that stuff down to be very, very simplistic, especially for both myself and my team to even learn how to do it, right? Because when you bring on contractors, you have to make sure that it's very, very simplified and that they understand the specific way that you like doing bookkeeping. Because if they don't, and a lot of different ways you can do something, and if it's not to your liking, it can be very, very challenging. So I had to make very special, like, training for my team in order to make sure that we could do the books in, like, a uniform kind of manner. So that's number one, right? Can you actually do the skill set? Number two, in terms of how to actually start, it comes down, number one, you need to really start getting comfortable in the selling environment. Okay, so what does that mean? That means getting comfortable with confrontation, being okay with asking for something multiple times, being okay with being misunderstood, being okay with, like, maybe looking like you don't know every single thing on the planet, making sure you show up to things. If you schedule an event, show up to scheduled events, right? Whether it's you sign up for something or whether someone sign up with you, just show up all the time. If you don't show up, you're not going to have success. Okay, that's one big secret in sales. As long as you show up, you're going to consistently get people in front of you, and then over time, people are just going to want to work with you just because of this consistency of motion, right? Another thing with sales is really staying cool when people misunderstand what you say or don't agree with what you say. If you cannot handle people disagreeing with you, business is not going to be for you, okay? And it's not necessarily that people disagree with you, but they see things slightly different than you, and your job is to kind of share your perspective and share what you've learned and how you see the world in a very easy to understand kind of way that they fully respect and they fully understand. But if you kind of, as soon as someone doesn't agree with what you say, if you like panic or if you get irritated or if you just write them off as like a person who, you know, is stupid, right? It's not going to work. You're not going to make it, because most people in business are going to have a different opinion than you, and your job is to really relate to them and see where they're coming from. Another thing is going to be making sure that you have the right viewpoint of business owners. Like they're not super scary. They're not like overwhelmingly like aggressive or mean. It's just they have been doing the same thing that you're trying to do for, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years in some cases, and that has allowed them to keep growing their business in a way that allows them to make way more money, right? So it's not necessarily they're different or better than you, it's just that they've been doing what you're trying to do for way longer than you. Next comes marketing. So marketing is very important because a lot of people don't really understand what marketing actually is. So there's kind of marketing, there's a bridge, and then there's consultation calls, right? So we just kind of talked about some basic consultation calls. I have a lot of videos on my channel about like sales. I think at this point inside of the YouTube channel, there's like a playlist on my YouTube channel that has like only sales related topics. So you can go and like just watch a bunch of those. Next is marketing. Same thing, we have a lot of marketing related videos. You can go and watch those videos as well. If you're just in short, if you're starting out, I would always go to friends and family first, and then I would start going more local, right? So I'm always trying to start as close as possible to me, and then I'm trying to go expand outward, because the closer someone is, the easier they're generally to close and to sign up to work with you, because they just feel like they can reach out and touch you, right? You don't really need to use heavy sales skills, because there's just that inherent trust of them feeling like they know your background, they know where you're coming from, they kind of know the schools that you maybe went to, maybe they know the place you grew up, and you have a lot of common ground that way. And as you start going and finding people who are like further and further away, in some cases the common ground just is not as common, so you do have to kind of learn how to build trust in your consultation process a lot better. Now, when you have that, right, let's say that you go and get leads who know you exist. The purpose of like social media marketing is generally to, number one, enhance your brand. Number two, kind of move someone from not knowing anything about you to knowing a lot about you. And then number three, creating more opportunities for consultation calls. Now, the interlude part, right, the bridge, is really about having really good either content, having good trust assets, having good pre-call resources that someone can watch or can consume in order to understand exactly how you can help them out, so that by the time you get to your consultation call, it's really just a moot conversation. It's just more of like a meet and greet to make sure that who they thought you were from that bridge kind of content to the consultation call is consistent. So some examples of bridge content: watching testimonials, reading testimonials. It could be that you made like a video presentation talking about exactly how you help people out. It could be that you maybe have like had an article published in like the newspaper. It could be that maybe you had an article published online. Maybe you did a presentation at a local event. Maybe you spoke to someone. Maybe you have some QuickBooks training that you can show and you can share online. Maybe you took a look at their books and you filmed a Loom video showing you going through their books and tell them all different things that are right or all different things that are wrong inside of their bookkeeping, right? It just makes it very easy for them to feel good and comfortable about working with you, and then it makes it way easier for you to be able to get them to want to work with you on the consultation call, right? Because if you don't have this like intermediate gap, then it makes it hard, because you're trying to, in your consultation call, build trust, get them to know you, get them to respect you, show you can help, and you're trying to overcome the pricing objection, because maybe your price might be either too low or it might be too high. Now, one misconception that people have is that just because you're charging a low price means that you're going to get the client. Yes, in the smaller end of clients, yeah, if you charge lower than everybody else, you will get them. But as you start going after clients that, you know, are a little bit larger in size and have a lot more at stake, if you charge too low, it's actually indicated that you don't really know what you're doing in business and that you don't really have a lot of experience, right? So by charging too low, you might be trying to do them a favor, but you're actually doing yourself two disservices. Number one, because you're not maximizing, you know, your dollar per client. Number two, you're actually losing deals because you're generally charging beginner's price point. If you're charging beginner's price point for someone who's intermediate or advanced, they're just going to say you're not really on their level at this moment in time. And then they're going to kind of like gracefully bow out and go with someone else. And the person that they go with, they're going to be like 2 to 3 times more expensive than you, and you're not going to understand why. It's like, they're probably going to say no, and they're like, oh, well, it must have been the price. And it's like, no, it was the price, but not the way that you're thinking. It wasn't that the price was too high. It was just that the price that you were charging was not in alignment with where that business was currently at in their kind of business life cycle. And it caused you to lose out because they went with someone who was more in line with that business life cycle, who understands that business more deeply and can charge an accurate price. Okay, so that is how I would answer the question. Can you get started? Yes, anyone can start an accounting and bookkeeping business. It's just you have to learn how to do bookkeeping. Once you've understood bookkeeping, then it's just more about like marketing and sales aspect. And once you understand that, then you can keep growing and keep growing and keep growing and just grow until you've either reached like a satiation point where you're like very satisfied with the income that you're making. And then you can make a choice. You can either go and grow it way larger, or you can just maintain it at the same and just make sure that you keep cycling through and just make sure you maintain the current clients and you have the ability to go in and get more if you were to either lose a client or if something was to happen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. And also, if you want some help growing your business, maybe been trying to do this stuff on your own, but it's just not quite working the way that you want, or maybe that you're thinking about getting into it, but you want to avoid making as many mistakes as possible so you just have the shortest path to success. Regardless of which one you are, if you want some help and you want to do this the right way from the start, go ahead and click on the link inside the description below. Book a call with me and see if I can help you out. I can't help everybody, right? It's not a great fit for everybody. We do things in a very particular way. Like it's a very particular outcome, and that's why our outcomes are very consistent whenever you look at like our reviews from our clients. So if you want to see if you qualify and see if it might be a potentially good fit, and if I will accept you inside the program, go ahead and click on the link inside the description either above or below the video. Book a call with me, see if I can help you out. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you on the call.